right, Dusty, finish this song lyric.
Oh, jeez.
Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore, but sometimes
If there's no
I
cameras,
wish I was a kid again.
if there are no cameras in the
How do you not
Kohberger,
remember that?
I'm a lot younger than you. If there's no cameras in the Kohberger case, I don't know what I'll do. It's going to not be pretty all up over here.
It has always bothered me. I feel the same way I do about body cameras. The only people who don't want the transparency have something to hide.
That's why we got cameras everywhere. We got nothing to hide. And we have Jessica.
We got a camera on you.
I know.
That's how pro-camera I am. I even have one on my producer.
We have Jessica,
All right,
actually.
so what do you got?
I want to get to Jessica because she's a resident of East Palestine, and she's got something to say.
Jessica, I think that what we're struggling with here is, we're used to the government exaggerating these kinds of problems so that they can justify what money they're putting into it. Here, the federal government insists that everything should be okay and was done right. How do you understand that?
It is really hard to understand. I feel like Biden is being very irresponsible with this delay of emergency declaration. And every day we waste not declaring an emergency puts not only my community, but Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia residents at risk. And it really does tell the nation that we're just not worth saving. So it's unfortunate that he's holding my community's health and safety hostage by the mere stroke of a pen.
Listen, I understand your frustration. We're trying to give voice to it on the show with you, obviously, but, we've done much of this on the show. However, if the federal government is saying, yeah, our testing says that this is all within the range of what it should be at this point and it's okay, I get why they haven't signed an emergency declaration. Why would you? You're being told there's no emergency. What do you think should happen here to get, like Governor DeWine, why isn't he jumping up and down about this? Why aren't your congressional representatives jumping up and down?
I think that we have received some support from Senator Brown and Senator Vance. They have urged this emergency declaration. I think that's important. One of the things you have to remember is that you're never going to find milk if you look in the closet. So I think it's really important that we urge the EPA to find a more efficient testing method, which includes testing our bodies as well as testing the indoor of our homes.
Look, we will stay on the story. I think you are right that the testing should be completely exhaustive. And I just don't understand how they have no presence there and how much of the responsibility has been given to the railroad, who made the mistake and has the biggest reason to mitigate the understanding of what the mistake was. Jessica, thank you very much. Yes, last word to you. Go ahead.
Norfolk Southern is not an emergency management agency, and the EPA here has exceeded their capabilities. We need to have a proper FEMA support come in so that we can have an appeals process when something doesn't get reimbursed or things don't go the way that we need them to go. And we just don't have that right now. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Stay strong. Stay in touch. Next.
Take care.
Oh, geez. Okay, I have to make the decision. Glenn, really quickly, but you got to be quick.
You got it.
Okay.
Glenn.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, man. What do you got?
So the media has not covered East Palestine the way it should. Neither has the government recognized it in any reasonable fashion. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it as often as it occurs to us to try to push the story, and we're going to do more on it. And you're not wrong to complain. You should complain if you're unsatisfied, and there should be more action, and we will stay on it. I promise you that. We will stay on it. Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.